How's it going, everyone? Oh, sorry about a little late. I was taking some dogs out so they would calm down. So let me... there we go. Turn on. There, now it's silent. How's it going? Jay Waters in Rad. Oh, let's see here. 5 hours till Christmas. Yes. Technically, it already kind of, Christmas Eve day? Yes, I saw the Asmon Gold video where the upload files were not really redacted. The whole thing, I'm not going to go into it much on that, so what we're going to concentrate on tonight, because it's stupid. It is just stupid. That's all I'll say. It's not redacted. There's more coming. Everybody already knew about the Trump photos. And I'm tired of the, last thing I'll say about it is, I'm tired of the, oh my God, this person's in the Epstein files. It doesn't mean anything. We need to know who is doing diddly stuff. That's beyond there. But that's it. I'm not talking about it. That's it. All right. Just finished a heap of yard work. Pull out a huge passion fruit vine in your yard. Holy crap. Set up my kid's pool for Christmas. Well, you don't set up a pool here for Christmas, even though we are above normal temperature where I'm at. We had super cold, crap loads of snow, and now almost 90% of our snow is gone. And we are going to be in the upper 40s Fahrenheit, which is damn warm for us this time of year. So yeah, but yes, I did see some of the videos today and everything on the Epstein stuff. Oh my God, the lefty media is desperate. All right, but we are going to jump into something else here. And by the way, guys, Merry Christmas. Honestly, just Merry Christmas. Nothing else. Uh-oh, what'd I do? I hit a button. I hit a wrong... No, I didn't. Oh, I know. I got to pull me down. So, here we go. Boink, boink. Ooh, what's that all about? Well, that's not what I got up there. That is interesting. Not sure why it did that. Okay, this is something I just saw today. 95? You suck. Merry Christmas, guys. No, I thought we could use a little break from the monotony of our Epstein craze and all the other crapola going on, and just talk a little bit about, well, cars. We're going to do politics, though. We will get to politics. Trust me. I saw this. This is my local ABC channel, and they post this almost every damn year, or a variation of it. And let me tell you right now, it's stupid. And you ought to see some of the comments that they get on this, on their Facebook page on this. I see people commenting, and they mean the best. Well, you know, cars today, you can damage things because they don't lubricate the upper cylinder head and this and that. Stop. Stop right there. That is wrong. Cars idle. They've manufactured cars to idle without taking out your engine. So let's get into this, and I'm going to tell you a bigger damaging thing to your motor than starting it idling in the cold. So, let me see. Got me on that one. All right. Dog just got a Christmas wash. It is fluffy. A toy oodle? A toy oodle? What is a toy oodle? I'm hoping that's not some mix. All right, and this is more of a ridiculous thing. Just drives me and some other people I know effing nuts that this is talked about all the time. Cleveland. It's a morning habit we all have during the winter months. Unless you live in tropical zones. Then it's for air conditioning. We grab our coffee, pull on a coat, start the car and let it idle while we finish getting ready. The goal is to warm it up. Actually, no. Most people today, okay, not most. I'm going to say probably half the people on the road today hit their remote start. Many cars come with it. My year of Chevy Avalanche came with it if it was an LTZ, but mine's an LT, but I did put one on. Yeah, my wife's Durango came with it. A lot of cars come with a remote start. So no, rarely do people pull on their coats. A warm, defrosted car is always the right move before a morning commute. But there's a catch. Ooh. Some experts, some Experts say the long-standing winter ritual, get off me, might actually be hurting your engine instead of protecting it. Ooga booga. And once again, even if it's not political, look at the wording. Some experts say might. They are covering their ass because they know somebody like me is going to go bullshit. And boy, on the Facebook post, there were people going bullshit. Every time they post this. Last year, a lot more people were engaged than so far this year. There were people all over calling this out. For decades, drivers are told to let their cars warm up before hitting the road. And that used to be a good thing back when cars had carburetors. There hasn't been a carbureted vehicle produced in the United States that is a standard passenger vehicle since the late 80s. My dad had a truck, 88 Chevy K3500 one-ton with a 454 big block, 4-speed manual, and it was throttle body injected. There were cars in the early 80s. Barely anybody knows what a carburetor is. Most people are not going, God, like my carburetor days. Update your article. My gods. It is 2025. You have to go back 35, 40 years to find a carburetor. And a lot of people driving now sure as shit wouldn't remember that. So yeah. Modern vehicles are really good at controlling how much fuel goes into the engine, deciding how to do it under cold conditions, said mechanical engineering professor William Northrop, PhD. I love these professors and shit. Get out in the real world, bud. They don't require a warm-up in order to run effectively or smoothly, even in wintertime. The problem here? Hey, jackass. Sorry, Mr. Northrop, jackass. It may not be the car we're worried about running smoothly. It may be us. If I walk outside and hop into a 5-degree Fahrenheit car, I'm not operating smoothly. So kiss my butt. And yes, a decent amount of cars have heated seats, heated steering wheel. Still not instant in a 5-degree car. You hop in and that cold air in there, oh shit. Let alone, if you park your car outside, you get to defrost your windows. You got snow on there possibly. You got to scrape the ice off the windshield. So yeah, let's just not start it. Let's just drive off down the road with little scrapings. Also in a very cold car, you breathe. It puts your breath inside the glass, and sometimes that can freeze if it's cold enough. So Mr. Northrop, respectively, maybe it's not about the car. Maybe it's about us operating smoothly. But I'm also going to disagree. All rubber seals, all things do not care for ultra cold unless you are a superconductor. Rubber seals are harder. There can be ice on them. Sometimes you move some things. You can rip a boot, tear a little booty on a tie rod. I've seen it happen. There's a lot of things. Your transmission is hydraulic. Thick hydraulic fluid. Think of how well that works. It puts pressure on electronic valves and electronic seals. Same in your engine. You have a VVT engine, variable valve timing engine. Teeny little solenoids, teeny little passages, and little screens that adjust that. We have had people in my area, we used to have cars come in the shop. When it gets really cold out, a lot of timing belt and timing chain problems on modern cars. Why? Because they listened to this jackass, got in the car, and drove off in it with thick, cold oil, and it didn't pump up any type of sometimes the lifters, and or sometimes your variable valve timing and transmission equipment. So yeah, but I'm going back to me. I don't want to hop into a cold car, especially if it's parked outside. In other words, if your car was built after 1980, who the update this? Update this. This guy, I want to see how old Professor William Northrop is. Because, dude, that is a long time ago. That is 45 years ago. Almost 46 years ago. Come on. It seems harmless letting your car sit and run 5-10 minutes, but experts say excessive idling can damage your engine's components over time. I don't know. How many of you have let your car idle in cold weather and done it for years and years and never seen a flipping problem? In fact, customers we had at the shops, telling you right now, if they let their VVT car with all the electronic solenoids in the tranny, the engine, in your braking systems, warm up a little bit before they took off, those people didn't have problems. It's the people who started them up, waited 30 seconds or so, like this article says, and then drove off. Do not, no. The Utah Department of see what we got here? It has nothing to do with it has this. Go green. See, there's politics for you guys. The Utah Department of Environmental Quality. Probably the last people I'm going to listen to is any environmental agency. They hate your car. They don't want you driving that car at all. Yeah, because they're going to tell you the truth. Idling your car is bad. Warns that cylinders, spark plugs, and exhaust systems can be damaged from idling too much. What's too much? What's too much? Asses. These cars idle every day on this earth, every night on this earth, in all weather conditions. You're stuck in traffic, you're idling. You're sitting at a light, you're idling. It's hot, it's cold, whatever, you're idling. Stupid. And what do you mean too much? See how they cover their butt? Too much. Idling too much. Environmental guy, everything is too much. Stop running your car at all. They add that you need to idle no more than 30 seconds to get the oil circulating through the engine. No. No. Cold components have problems. Variable valve timing solenoids, transmission electronic solenoids, ABS solenoids, a lot of things do not. Little electronic solenoids don't like being pushed with really thick oils. Don't. 30 seconds. And plus, you're sitting in your car going, shit, that's cold. And you just breathed and it's on your windshield. And you're blowing really cold defrost on your windshield. Good job, Mr. Northrop. And Utah Department of Environmental Quality. Then Firestone. I worked at Firestone once a long time ago. Firestone Complete Auto Care agrees. Writing, if you are one of the many drivers who thinks it's important to turn on your car and let it sit for a bit for hitting the road in wintry weather, you could be doing your engine more harm than good. Here's why. When a cold engine idles, they say, fuel doesn't completely evaporate before combustion. Anybody besides me see the problem with this? Yeah, I'll get you guys in this a little bit, but anybody see the problem with this? Do you see the problem? You start your engine up. You drive off within 30 seconds or so. You think your engine's warm? No. You have a cold flipping engine. So guess what? Your fuel may still not evaporate properly. That's stupid. And plus, when you take off, you are pumping more gas. At idle, your injectors are going beep, 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 little bits of gas. You go to take off down the road, tons of gas starts coming out. And your chances of it not all evaporating before combustion goes up on a cold engine. That means some of that fuel sticks to the cylinder walls, washing away the thin layer of lubricating oil that protects the engine's moving parts. One, depending on the oil you're using, don't use shit oil. Use a good synthetic. You're less likely to have that wash off. And also, how about an oil additive? I use liquid moly in my engines. Why? It adds an additive. And I put it in my wife's vehicle for a reason we're about to talk about. Trust me. We're going to get there. Washing away the thin layer of lubricating oil protects the engine's moving parts. Yeah, driving off with a 30-second warm engine will not do that when you're dumping more gas in a cold engine and running your RPMs higher. Your engine's idling. Let's say it does knock off a little of your oil coating, but your engine's just idling. You got that oil coating knocked off by pumping your injectors up higher level in cold weather on a cold engine and higher RPMs. Which one do you think will wear your engine more? Now, here's the reason I put liquid moly. I'm not part of their company. Do what you like. Look it up, read about them. It's actually, moly is an additive in all oils. Some oils have a lot more of it than others. Look that up. But I add it to my vehicles, especially my wife's now. Why? Because of something a lot of new cars have. If they are going to worry about starting your car in the winter, here's a bigger death, danger, whatever, for your car. Any car that has the start-stop system, you pull up at a light and stop, and your car shuts off. What's your car do when you go to take off? You take your foot off the brake, the car restarts. What doesn't that car have on every restart, no matter what? Oil pressure. You start your car in the morning, at night, a couple times you run around town with the boys, going to the clubs, or the girls going shopping. You start your car maybe, let's say, 7 to 10 times a day. I'm being high on that. Most people, it's 4 to 5 times a day, maybe. You start your car 7 to 10 times. Now you add a start-stop system in there. Every time you come to a light, it shuts off. Light or sometimes stop sign where you're just stopping for a second or you got to wait for people. Boop. Now you lose oil pressure every time. These systems are horrendous for your motor. You are starting your cars. Sometimes if you got that system on, my wife usually turns hers off. Besides, it's annoying, but it's horrible on your engine. You are starting your car an extra 5 to 20 times a day. Add up how many days that is on your starting up. Startup, they always tell you, startup is where all your engine wear is. Well, guess what? You just added, in one day, you've added 5 or 6 days of startups. Yeah, and you go look up, you find out there's a lot of people talking about these start-stop systems. Engines are having huge problems. Yeah, because you're wearing your engine. Hey, look, we stopped the engine. Cool, great. We saved gas. And I'm sure Utah Department of Environmental Quality is going, yay. But then you start it up. No oil pressure for a second. Hey, guess what? Great job. So maybe WQAD and these experts should talk more about that. That is a bigger danger than starting your car in the winter. And like I said, maybe we don't start the car for the car. Maybe we start it because we don't want to hop into a 10, 15 degree car. So, yeah. So, yep, you do. Mechanical engineer Stephen Ciotti, PhD. Somebody that's also probably never been in the shop regularly. Explained that when a cold engine starts, some fuel needs to go inside the chamber in order for it to start to burn. Well, no shit. That's why it's called a combustion chamber. Good grief. That's why constantly letting your car idle on cold mornings, no matter how cozy it feels, is less healthy for your car. You're slowly shortening your engine lifespan. Well, you're shortening it much faster with your start-stop system. Also, yeah, cozy. How about the breathing on the inside of your windshield or your windows you can't see out of, getting ice and snow off your windows? Dum. So what should you do instead? The answer might surprise you. That's where they say, wait about 30 seconds and drive off gently. I know a lot of people that park on the street around here. Driving off gently in traffic and rush hour is not what you do. Drive off gently. The motion of the car helps the engine warm up faster than idling ever could. That's great. So I'll tell the police officer that they said to just hop in 30 seconds, drive off when my windows are fogged up and I can't see jack crap. Most of you should be warming up your cars 30 seconds. Nope. I'm going to be cold in my car and my shit's going to be iced up and I'm not going to be happy. And hey, how about this? If I got to go outside and scrape my windows, get the snow and ice off, I'm going to be cold. So now I hop in my cold car. That's brilliant, man. Oh, hey, if your windshield is iced over, use a scraper or brush rather than waiting for the defrost to clear it. Have these people ever driven in a cold winter day? How many of you have scraped your car off and you don't have time to warm it up or you don't care, but you go to drive off and what happens? Your windows ice or fog right back up because it's colder than shit. Your breathing inside is putting ice on the inside and the outside, God forbid, is getting a little iced up too and fogged. You can't see shit. It doesn't matter if you scrape it. Good God, where are these guys based out of? Probably, Florida. Yeah, we do our studying in the Florida Keys. When you hit the road, go easy for the first few minutes. Tell somebody that lives on a main road that, or in Chicago traffic or expressway, you got seconds till you're on the expressway or minutes. Yeah, okay. Don't floor it or rev the engine. Revving your engine the first few moments you start driving can add unwanted strain to your bearings and flood the combustion chamber. Well, no kidding. I'm sorry, it's just stupid. It's just, no. One, it's not all about the car. Two, it could be about us. Three, they're forgetting a lot of shit. Dude, scraping your windshield will not work. It just doesn't. Sorry, that's stupid. Cavoodle? Okay. No buffering, video in the background. No, it's just my video in the background. I'm not playing it. That's all that is, right there. I'm just not playing their video where they say this exact same stupid crap. A lot of people in the USA have garages, but not... oh, no, there's a lot that don't, though. I mean, my wife and I walk our dogs around our neighborhoods, and there's... I would say a lot of people do have garages, but yeah, you're right. A lot of people don't use them. There's a lot of people now that have their garages set up like their living room. They have couches and a TV, and they can fit maybe one car in it or none and park outside. We have neighbors that don't have a garage. We have neighbors that don't use their garage. We have neighbors that can't use their garage because it's packed full of crap. I think I saw something about... let's say, I think, God, what was it? It's like, out of 10,000 homes that have garages, only like 3,000 of those homeowners are using them or can get a car in them. I think that was part of it. That article's an engagement trap. I don't know about that because they do change it up and they actually go out and do this. They put this on their newscasts. They actually put this on their newscasts. And people are just pissed. And that saying something's an engagement trap just means don't read anything on the internet then, because everything's an engagement trap. Everything is literally an engagement trap. Hey, look, cat. Oh, wow, I can learn about tabby cats or something. It's all an engagement trap. So that means pretty much don't engage with anything. So you can't say everything is clickbait because you engage with it. But no, they do this, and they actually do this on at least 2 of our channels around here every flipping year. They do it on the news. Morning, noon, 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and then for a couple days. And they have experts out there. So they waste a lot of money on a clickbait things. They usually have experts like Mr. Dingus here. Where's Mr. Dingus? Mr. Northrop. They'll have people like him on there talking about it, interviewing them. He'll be standing there by a broke down, cut in half engine. Here is why. There are cars with heated steering wheels. Yeah, there is, Joel. My wife's Durango has one. Yeah, it has heated seats in the front and the second row and heated mirrors and heated steering wheel. There are cars that have them, but still it's not exactly fast and it doesn't warm the air up inside. So as soon as you breathe, especially if we have the dogs with us, woof, windshield frozen. You can't see nothing. And that doesn't matter if you've scraped it. Yeah, Joel. Dude. Yeah, my old Trans Am, my truck, I don't think, the LTZ version of my Avalanche did come with that. The LTZ version of, I think, 2010 to 13 Avalanche had heated and cooled seats and a heated steering wheel and a couple of things a couple of things my LT doesn't. So, Jack says a heated scratching post. Pfft, he wishes. Because idling is harder on the car than driving. Exactly, Jay Watterson. That's what I look at. And every time they say, well, cold engine, you're going to get gas in here. But hey, just drive. You're dumping higher RPMs, more gas in a cold engine through a cold catalytic converter, even when they have the heated cats. You got the heated O2 sensors to heat up quick. Doesn't matter. You're still dumping more stuff through that cat. You're still working that tranny harder. Transmission, YouTube. I miss when tranny just meant a 700R4, if you know what that is. So, yeah. All right, so let me open that over there. I forgot to ask what happened to the space alien asteroid that was going to... Yeah, it did nothing. It went by. It went by, Joel. It did nothing. They just flew on by, and everybody's like, yeah, okay, it was just a comet. You want to talk about clickbait and engagement trap? 3AA Atlas. Even though, we were all hoping. Come on, tell me you weren't all hoping there'd be an alien pop out of that. These experts are based in the Bahamas where it doesn't snow. Exactly, Rad. 100%. Because they talk about, oh, just scrape your window. These are PhDs and supposed engineers and experts. Do you know what happens when you scrape your windshield off in really cold weather and jump in and drive off? No, they don't. You're right. They're based in Bahamas. They don't realize your windshield outside re-ices if you don't have warm defrost, and your windshield inside re-ices because you're breathing and ices it up and fogs it. Yep. Dum-da-dum-dum. So, okay. Let's see here. What did you send me? I don't even know what it was. Where did I open it? That's a good question. I don't even know where I opened that. I don't know where I opened that at. Okay, well that was cool. Let's try that again. My computer's going stupid over here. Hang on. Open new tab. Oh, there it is. What is that? Sorry, I'm trying to see what the heck you sent me. That my computer is really being pissed at me. I think I have too many windows open. Christmas wrapping music? Oh boy. I'll have to look at that later. But yeah, that was just my little talk about that. It just drove me nuts. I'm tired of seeing it. I know other guys that work on cars that are tired of seeing it. It's like, ugh. It's not going to damage your car. Add liquid. If you're worried about a little friction, add liquid moly to your oil. My God, that's what it's there for, to help stop that startup problem. And a lot of good synthetic oils today really are good at it. But worry more about your remote start. Or your... Worry more about your start-stop system if you have one on your car. So, yeah. All right, we are going to move right along. And tomorrow, if you guys want, sometime tomorrow or tomorrow early evening, late afternoon, I don't know. Maybe we'll try to do a stream where we go back to politics. That'd be up to you guys. If I see there's people caring about it on Christmas Eve-ish, we'll see. All right, so I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because this is more local to me, or depending on what state or country you're living in, maybe not. We hear about this a lot. Illinois gas tax is increasing. Here's what you need to know. Also, our road tax increased. Our roads tax. All right, so they will tell you, well, you know, we're just we're not getting as much revenue from the gas tax to do the roads. That's what your gas taxes normally is roads. So, well, we're not getting as much as we thought. One, because in this state, everybody's taxed so high, a lot of people drive as little as possible. So if you're not buying gas, they're not getting as much revenue. Also, here's the big, they try to lie to you. They try to lie. And they go, well, it's because the people in the EVs aren't buying gas. The amount of EVs on the road is actually very minuscule compared to all the gasoline vehicles out there. That is a load of shite. They will also tell you, oh, because cars get better mileage. That's not it. It is because of, come on, say it with me. It's because they overtax. They raise their gas taxes. Illinois has the first or second highest gas tax in the country. So, What they don't talk about is the very fact that in Illinois, everybody that lives around the borders goes across to the other state to buy gas. I know because I do it. I always tell people here in the Illinois side of the Quad Cities, if you buy gas in Illinois, you have more dollars than cents. You drive right across the river. Your gas is between 50 and 60 cents a gallon cheaper. Now, add that up, it maybe costs you $1. Let's say $3 to drive over there and back. That's it, round trip, $3. But you have a truck like mine with a 30-something gallon gas tank, you are saving around $20 a tank. That adds up. $20 tank. My wife saves $12 or $15 on her vehicle every fill up. Add up how many times you fill up your car a year. Holy shit, that adds up. And that is happening all around the border of states like Illinois. All the high tax, Democrat run, they are all Democrat run states where people they escape and go around to every other state. Hell, I think even Missouri is even cheaper than Iowa. But we go across to Iowa, and also, while we're over there, I've said this before, the Iowa side of the Quad Cities has more of the good shit. They have the Sam's Club. We don't. They have Best Buy. We don't. They have the better restaurants. We don't. They have a big new rec center. We don't. They have cool stuff being built. We don't. They have the good movie theaters over there. We don't. You want to go to eat? There you go. Everything. The best dog park over there. Yeah. Also, they don't charge you tax on your groceries. We do. So we go over there, and a lot of people do spend shitloads of money. It's not just they're losing gas tax revenue. They're losing tons of revenue. People don't just drive over for gas. Get your gas tank low, you drive over. Honey, what do you want? Yeah, let's do this and this and this and buy this and this while we're over there. That's what we do. So what do? What is the answer? I know you guys are going to know this. What's the answer? What do? They get less revenue because of this, so they raise the gas tax more. Well, we're getting less. And now they're in a death spiral. They're about to raise it again. And what's going to happen? People from even farther away, or even people at the same distance, more of them who aren't saying, screw this, I'm going to Iowa, are going to do it now. There's something going to go, that's worth my time to drive over there. They're going to say, yep, we're done. And people from farther in Illinois are going to look and go, screw this, I'm done. If it's saving you, depending on the vehicle you're driving, between $15 and $30 a fill-up, bigger trucks even more. That is worth your time and money, especially if you go over there. There's more things to do over there, and it's cheaper. And I'm from what I hear, that's like that around the borders of this whole damn state. People drive across, and they do multiple things in that state, come back home saving shitloads of money. If I drive over with my Avalanche, I'll save around $15-20 a tank on my gas. And then while I'm over there, I take the dogs to the huge Bettendorf Crow Creek Dog Park. Amazing place. Great dogs, great people. Fun. And then we'll pick up groceries, pay no tax. If we're going to go out, we'll go to a restaurant, a movie, whatever. We'll do things over there. Stop at Sam's Club. It's the only choice we have anymore in the Quad Cities. So they're in a death spiral. So what do? Democrats got to raise taxes. Raise it again, people farther. And it keeps going down. And I've seen people in this area go, but you're hurting the gas stations here in Illinois. I don't care. I can't care. At $15 or $20 a tank savings, I can't say, well, I'm going to stay here and sacrifice my family and my checkbook for them. Fuck that. Not a chance, and neither would you. It's funny because I have a family member that's a deep Democrat who's voting for all this crap that bitches about the gas tax and drives their happy butt over to Iowa for gas. I think they should not be allowed to do that. Now, this gets a little more local with me because my county sent us out a little thing. Okay, we did a vote during the last presidential election. They wanted a county gas tax increase also. And the people resoundingly said, screw you, get stuffed, go sit and spin. We say no. So, what do? I'm sure that they honored the voters, right? Oh, yeah. Of course they did. Now, on our water bill, we got this little letter that said, your water bill will now have a road tax. They added, they called it a road fee because that stupid cock-knocking judge some years back said, well, if it's called a fee, it's not a tax. Oh, that jacknuts. So they call it a road fee. Roads fee is on your water bill. Yes, I shit you not. They attached a roads fee to the water bill that is almost down to the penny what they wanted the gas tax to be. So they looked at the voters in my county, Rock Island County, and said, some of you know what that means. They said, screw you voters, screw you who are supposed to be our bosses. How dare you tell us we can't tax you more? We're going to take it anyway. That's exactly what they're doing. So now, not only do I get an Illinois gas tax, I get a Rock Island County gas tax going up. And it is a gas tax. I don't give a shit what you call it. Road fee, it's a gas tax. And that is happening not just in Illinois, in a lot of Democrat states. And they're going to put themselves into a death spiral. California is going to win that one if you guys know what's going on there. A couple big refining companies are leaving. Californians, you wanted to know what it's like to live without gas. Well, guess what? You're about to get it. You are going to be paying $8 to $12 a gallon. You're going to be depending on oil being shipped in from overseas to come into you. Or from other parts of this country, and they're going to be charging your asses. Good job, bud. But yeah, that was my bitch about the gas tax. And the thing is, they want to say it's because of the EVs. It is not because of the EVs. It is not because of cars' mileage. It is because you guys jack up the gas taxes where people leave. Why would you stay? Why would you stay? That is retarded. It just is. All right, let me catch up real quick. Let's see. Hey, Texan, what's up, buddy? Fuel tax increase because people moving to electric. No, it's not. No, it's not. The amount of electrics is not the problem. That is the excuse that they always use to raise the gas tax. The amount of cars on our roads is not enough to be a huge impact. It is because they jack it up so high. And once again, it's not all states here hurting. Not all states are going, oh my God, our gas tax isn't high enough. Or our gas tax revenue isn't high enough. Let me put it that way. They are a lot of red states, not to be political here. Well, yeah, to be political. A lot of the red states are going, okay, yeah. They're not worried about it. It's not hurting them because, well, once again, their state's economies are in better shape anyway. They don't have to go, oh my God, we lost a quarter. Illinois does. Illinois is fucked. So there is not enough electrics doing it. Or else every state would be freaking out, running with their hair on fire like Illinois and California, a lot of these other Democrat states are. It's the Democrat states that jack the gas tax through the roof to pay for all their bullshit. And then people just don't buy. They don't buy in that state. That's what's doing it. A stream Die Hard? Yeah. I can do that and not get taken down on the internet. Right. If I stream Die Hard, my channel will be pulled down instantly. I have a hard time not getting pulled down anyway. I would get copyright struck within about a minute and a half. Hell, I've already got a copyright strike the other day because there was 3 seconds of some music and something I skipped across during one of our streams. 3 seconds. So I've won every copyright strike against me. But it's the fact you have to go do it. And then it waits a month. And it does affect what people see, how many people see your videos. Another reason why I'm not getting anywhere. How you doing, Texan? Fuel taxes increase people moving to electric. Nope. Not true, Rad. Maybe in your country, not here. And even in your country, last I looked, it's not that high of a level there. Your electric cars are not that prevalent. Especially at distances. Electric cars don't do distance well. They don't handle hot well. They don't handle cold well. In this narrow temperature range, yay. Outside of them, you can find a video on YouTube where a guy took an F-150 Lightning. And even Tesla, just because of cold weather, thing, mileage cut in half. Tried to tow something with it, cut in half. He was getting 96 miles and supposed to have 250-mile range. Electrics, they're not there yet. Gas truck does not lose 2/3 of its range by towing something behind it. They also don't lose 2/3 of their range or more because it's cold outside, even if you start it and let it idle and warm up. We have more electric in EU, small market. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You may have more electric than we do, but it's still a very, very small market. There aren't that many people moving to electrics. In fact, in this country, the electrics are pulling back. People aren't buying electrics here. In fact, in some European countries, people are stopping buying electrics. They don't like them. You can go online and you can find shitloads of, well, I bought an electric and I don't like it, remorse videos. You don't see that about, hey, I bought a gas car. Oh, I bought a go electric. A lot of remorse over EVs. In America, it's actually dropping. And in parts of Europe, it's dropping. So, we find it amusing here you have different state rates. Ugh. Well, that's because we have a constitution that gives certain powers to our federal government who are overreaching that, and the rest is left up to the states. And that gives us, actually, not to be a dick, a little bit of a dick, a little more freedom than you guys have because we can choose where we live by our beliefs. You can choose to live in areas with different taxes, different climates, different ways of doing certain laws, around people you like to be around. You have a central government that controls everything, and central governments that control everything usually aren't some of the best. And there's a reason that you guys are having some issues over there with some of that. And we also didn't grab people up during COVID like you guys did and shove them in concentration camps either. So there's that. So I don't know what, we found that amusing. All right, let's see. Most states, the so-called gas tax goes straight in the general fund. Yes. Yeah, it's supposed to be for roads. Yeah, in ours, last I knew, Illinois did have a separate fund for roads, but it doesn't matter. They rob it regularly. They just robbed $500 million from the downstate road fund. For what? For what? To help bail out the transit system that's failing in Chicago. They stole about $200-300 million a couple years ago from downstate schools to bail out the failing Chicago school system. Huh. So when somebody in my state tells me, oh, we couldn't, because they're laughing at how a lot of Illinoisans want to boot Chicago. They want to separate from Chicago. You couldn't live without Chicago. Really? Iowa doesn't have a Chicago. Iowa's got cities comparable to the size of the rest of the Illinois cities, but they don't have a Chicago sucking them dry. A Chicago outvoting the rest of the state. Illinois is one of the most, it is the most corrupt state union, the highest taxed in total state, and we are monstrously in debt. We are the third in place of losing population, and I believe we're like third or fourth in losing business. So yeah, I don't know. All right, so yeah, I think maybe we get rid of Chicago and we would have less problems. And I love all those idiot lefties in Chicago that laugh, hey, you couldn't do it without Chicago. Chicago brings in the money and it steals it. Then tell me how come Iowa has a budget surplus and doesn't have a Chicago sucking at the teeth or outvoting everybody in the stupid state, forcing the whole state to do what they want. Chicago outvotes this state. This state is as red as Iowa. Little pockets of blue, but red as Iowa if you look at it. But Chicago pushes this state everywhere. Chicago gives the Democrats in my state the supermajority, which means there is no dissenting voice. That's why this state is so corrupt. But yeah, in a lot of states, it does not go into a special. It doesn't go into a lockbox for roads. It's just like Social Security. That was supposed to be in a lockbox, so the Democrats undid that. That Social Security fund money is supposed to stay off. They weren't supposed to keep messing with it. Then they voted to put it in general fund, and then they voted they could spend it. That's why Social Security is actually going broke, for anybody in America wondering. It's because Democrats, look it up, voted to put it in the general fund. Never supposed to have been. And then they voted that, yeah, we can use it to spend it. Yeah. So it's going broke because they keep spending it. Would it probably go broke anyway? Yeah, because we're spending way too much on welfare people who think they just get to live their whole lives on welfare and drive around in nicer cars than my old '07 Avalanche and worry about their nails done and shoes and, oh my God, if I can't have Twinkies and soda, how dare you? Yeah, okay. Why my wife and I go to Aldi and budget. All right. Yeah. And in Illinois, it goes to paying. If you look up Illinois, most of our taxes go to paying our government workers. My county, Rock Island County, is just as bad. They send you a pie chart showing where your taxes go. Most of it goes to government pensions and the school. The school that's not doing very good. Our school system kind of sucks. I wouldn't want to put my kids in it. Sorry. I'd rather go across to Iowa. Almost all the school systems over there are doing better than the ones over here. Another thing we're overspending on. Yeah. Yeah, it goes to paying our corrupt politicians. We have some of the highest paid politicians, teachers, school employees, whatever it is in this state. All the states. It's crazy. So, yeah, we can live without Chicago to you Chicago people. F you, get out. We'd be fine. We would look a lot like Iowa without you. Yeah. And there'd be a lot less Democrat voters, and we'd be able to get something done, maybe be more fiscally responsible. Oh, no. Come on, I would love a Chicago Democrat to come and explain to me. You guys keep voting for blue, and it's actually a saying in Chicago, vote blue no matter who. So when one Democrat screws you, you just vote for another one that does the same thing. They must be breathing wacky exhaust up there at Chicago. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and hoping for a different outcome. Joel, I live in Minnesota, so our gas goes to filling potholes in Somalia. Yes, it does. Oh, about 9 billion or more. Holy shit. And now some people are saying that there's about 3 or 4 other states, including Colorado, that they're starting to inkle that the Somalians there have been ripping them off too. Dude, people were traveling from other states, other Somalians were traveling from other states or coming here just to go to Minnesota because they knew how rife it was. And by the way, Ilhan Omar helped remove all the protections on that system. Weird how it's mostly her people. After she removed the protections and got 80,000 of them in that state, that they're the ones doing the fraud, or at least the overwhelming majority. So I feel for you, Joel, I do. And you're a braver soul than I am, because that is farther north than I want to live, because that's cold. That is cold. But yeah, you're paying potholes in Somalia. You're also paying for weaponry for all the battles going on in Somalia. So yeah, there are 1,000 reasons that Ilhan Omar should be booted. She's not even a legal immigrant. Her and her dad lied to become immigrants. She was underage. Her dad was in the military over there. He was part of the military that was taken over, and now he was fearing for his life because they were going to rebel against their horribleness. He was one of the people that was doing horrid things to people over there, and he lied coming over here. He never should have got his, neither should she. She should be gone. Gone, and double gone. Besides all the fraud, marrying her brother, which even Somalians up there admit, yeah, they know she did it. It's clear as shit. Why is she still here? If any of you and I did anything like that much money, fraud, marrying somebody, bring them in falsely, whatever, all the shit she's done, nah, we'd be in jail. Hell, even if you're born here, they might have removed our citizenship, but can't remove hers. That's why it's hard to have faith that anything will get done. That's where I'm going to say the Trump administration is letting me down. Get something done. Get something done. Jail somebody for this shit. Boot somebody. Fire Pam Bondi. Actually, I am all for her being up on charges. Even though the Epstein thing is not what the lefty media is trying to make it out to be, and the left assholes on the XR. I know, you're not happy about the releases, but guess what? It's 1 trillion times more than we ever got under the Biden administration. And if Donald Trump was actually, I'll say it one last time, if Donald Trump was actually in those files, having done something, they would have released it. Maybe they would have protected everybody else. They sure as shit would have released it and on Trump. They did everything else, including putting a bullet through the man's ear. They tried to kill him. But, oh no, they wouldn't release the Epstein stuff just on Trump. Hey, look at the stuff we found on Trump. They would have released it. That's it. Okay, we're done with that again. That's why I walked away from it. It's just such an ignorant thing. That said, I want a lot more out than is out. But they're still releasing stuff. All right. This is why Jax drives a diesel. He buys red diesel. We had a shop heater in our auto shop. And this was a big thing. Some people still do this. It ran off waste oil and or cooking oil. Yeah, shop furnace that did that. And there were people driving around. There was at least a couple of vehicles I ran into in our area where they drove by. It smelled like French fries because they were running off waste oil from restaurants. It's crazy. All right, I know I'm behind in the chat, guys. Holy crap, that jumped. I drive a diesel compact SUV. Been going 13 years. Only got 38,000 miles on it. We don't have a lot of those here. We don't have a lot of little diesels. Our diesels are usually in the larger vehicles. We're doing some pulling. When you're getting one up into a big old diesel, you're pulling. You know, big old Duramax or, you know, big old Ford, big old Cummins, stuff like that. We don't do a lot of compact diesels. Because even the best diesel with the urea fluids and everything else is still dirtier than a gas engine. So it's kind of funny to me how a lot of countries are, there are a lot of countries that, oh my God, we're upset about emissions. Hey, let's run some little diesels. I've been to classes on this, guys. The cleanest diesel out there is still dirtier than the cleanest gas engines by a good amount. Even if you're running your diesel fluid in them. Texan. Dude, wait until they use flock cameras that track you. Dude, do not get me going. Because my wife has even laid down the law that if they do that, the thing about that in Illinois, they've tried to pass that where they want you to have a tracking device in your vehicle. Not flock cameras. They want a tracking device in your vehicle, or if your vehicle already has a GPS or a nav system in it or whatever, they want to track you by that and charge you per mile you drive. Screw you. I will not do either. Even my wife's like, no, we're done. We will go in debt. We're not ready to move yet. We can't find the right place. But she's like, screw that. We'll go live with my parents in Iowa. And you know what? I'd probably agree with her. I will not be tracked. But yeah, Illinois and some other states are trying that. So far, it hasn't been passed. It keeps trying, though. I won't do it. I am not being tracked for them to tax me. And you know, well, we're not going to do anything with that data knowing where you're going. Yeah, bullshit. They're going to sell it to companies. And I don't want the government. It doesn't matter. We are not to have our government knowing every place we're going. If I want to go to Jim's Rib Shack or Billy Joe's House of Inflatable Sheep and Velcro Gloves, it's none of their business. I don't want them to know when I'm doing something, how fast I'm doing it, how slow I'm doing it, what music I'm listening to. None of that. That's none of their business. None ya. And that's why also I tell people, use cash still. The government hates cash because they don't know, they can't control every penny, they can't watch what you're buying and doing, they can't climb up your ass with a microscope, go, hey, you bought a lot of these. Hey, did you make enough money to have, So yeah, they've thought about it, Texan. All right, let me see. Was there something else? Oh, Rock Island County, I was talking about that. They haven't explicitly blamed only EV. See the wording? Once again, only. It's in the letter I got. I would show up. It's got all my personal information on it, which, whatever. But still, only EVs. No, it says right on the letter we got from Rock Island County, well, due to EVs, we're not taking as much gas tax. No, it's because your gas tax over here and is putting you at 50 plus cents a gallon more expensive than like 8 minutes away. Seriously, you can be in Iowa from here in about 8 to 10 minutes. That's it. And that's with lights and traffic and whatever. 8 to 10 minutes. You're in Iowa by a gas station. So 8 to 10 minutes away, the gas is 50 to 60 cents a gallon cheaper. Yeah, it's the EVs. Shut up. By the way, there aren't tons of EVs in this area. Why? Because they suck in the winter. We have extreme weather conditions in my area, folks. Also, EVs suck when you have a power outage. We've had power outages lasting from 3 days to 2 weeks in this area. Enjoy your EV. Actually, I know some people that were stranded with their EVs, and I had to give a guy a ride. Hey, Paul, how you doing, steady boy? I've wondered about the longevity of EVs versus the salting of the northern roads. Oh, it's not the longevity of the EV. I mean, sure, sooner or later, the salt and the crap here will work into electronics. It will. It is going to cause a lot of problems with older EVs. In fact, we have some EVs in this area. They do have problems, and the dealers that have them are working on a shitload more of them. And also the price to fix them is much more expensive, and then the batteries do have a shelf life. And the batteries suck in the cold. Even if you pre-warm your Tesla battery, what you need to do, it still takes power. Cuts that distance way down. All right. Rad, they are pulling back, but in my area, I see heaps of Tesla. Well, we see mostly where you see Teslas and stuff in our country is in the big cities. Chicago, you go to Chicago, you see a good amount of Teslas. There's a big infrastructure, tons of charging stations, but still, most of the people that drive them are people with money in Chicago. But no, you don't see a lot of them in my area because they just don't handle the winters well. And if you want to try driving from like the Quad Cities to Iowa City in an EV, you get stuck on roads there. You've already cut your mileage. Say you got a 300-mile EV, and now because of the weather, it's cut back because the batteries don't like the cold. Then you're running the heat, the wood defrost, whatever you're running, the radio, got people in the car. Your mileage from 300 is cut back to 100. It's like 45, 50 miles from here to Iowa City. You are on your range. That's it. And that's if everything goes well. Watch out for headwinds on I-80. Look that shit up. That wind has rolled trucks. So you got to go up there. Then you got to sit for 20, 30 minutes if you can find a charging station open and wait to charge your car enough to get the frig home. I can take my Avalanche, drive up there and back nonstop and still have gas left by far. All right. Now there's a lot of pullback. EVs are not selling as well. Teslas are still doing better than most. By far. I have to admit, I am curious about the Chevy Silverado EV, which is a friggin' Avalanche. It's an electric Avalanche. I don't have $100,000 to buy one, but if somebody would buy me one, I'd definitely drive it. It's got 700 plus horse. It does 0 to 60 in like 6 seconds. Jeez, for a big old truck. That's fun. But would I buy it myself? No. I bought my Avalanche. I love my Avalanche, dude. I bought that used for like $5,000 or $6,000. And I love that thing. Poor old girl's rusting though. Damn it. Best truck I've ever owned. The fact that Chevy stopped making it, you're a bunch of tards. In fact, a lot of people are pissed off, want that Chevy Silverado EV. They want that in a gas model. Like, get the gas model back in it, I'll buy it. Plus, it won't be $100,000. Well, maybe. A lot of cars are now. But yeah, Texan, sorry, I didn't mean to wander, but yeah, the not only does the cold mess with the EVs, but yes, the salt and the goo and everything. Yeah, there's not an electric connector out there that sooner or later is not going to fail or something's going to corrode due to all the BS around this area. And then we get super hot. We got a range here. We have had 50 plus degrees below zero Fahrenheit without wind chill before. But then we'll get 98, 99 degrees with super humidity. It's like, whew, we got a range. We have a range. Taxes are central. We do have different state laws against smaller market. Well, our federal taxes are central. We have federal and state taxes. We have layers. We have federal, state, county, city. And in some states, like Illinois, sometimes you have a township tax. That's a level of government that what is it? Only like 5 or 6 states actually have left, or 9 states. Most of them eliminate it because it's just bullshit. It's just a way to get some family member into a government job. The new salt batteries being made in China are looking promising. Testing to be good. Yeah, well, seem to be good and cold. How cold? Plus, I don't. The very fact that insurance companies tell you they won't insure these things if you park them in your garage or insure your house, they say that out right here in America. You park your EV in your house, in your garage, and it burns down, we ain't covering that shit. They say you have to park your EV outside because these things light up. That's another problem with these things. EVs have a lot of problems. I remember taking a class at General Motors back during the original EVs and hybrids coming out. Hybrids are definitely a better way to go. Honestly, if you really do want both, the best of both, the only problem is, do you know how much they weigh? I got a friend who has a EV, it's a hybrid RAV, it's a RAV or a Highlander, Toyota Highlander, EV. It weighs a shitload more than the gas only model. Whoa, things are heavy. Let's see, lithium batteries tend to catch fire and ruptured. Actually, they tend to catch fire a lot of times. And I'm telling you right now, you're driving around and something get in an accident, woof, the fires that the fire departments have to deal with from these things is insane. You almost can't put them out. I just don't think electric's the way to go. Electric has too many downsides right now. If you have a power outage where you're at, what are you going to do with your electric car? Jack shit. Well, how good is your debit card when your power goes out? Worth jack shit. Gasoline car still goes a good long time. So you keep a little gas can in there, have your gas tank almost full, you still got a lot more range in your electric. So yeah. Also, keep cash around. Power goes out, you can still buy shit. Most of the stores go cash only when the power's out. We still do okay. So debit cards and electric cars both have problems in case of big issues. All right, Tesla sucks. EVs in China, which I have seen over there, are way better. I don't think so. If they were so good, they'd be everywhere. Also, China steals everything. They don't make anything. They steal every piece of info. Everything any company does over there, they have to give over all their patents and all their technology info to China to be in China. Which I think it's insane that they think that's worth it. Gregory Malchuk, how's it going? Chrysler was advising driving the car to warm it up since the late 1940s. Mentioned a Chrysler Master Tech video from 47. Wow. All I know is they can do that, but it's not the best way for a lot of things in the vehicles, let alone the people driving them. Like I said, even if you want to go, just forget the whole car thing. Just talk about the whole, just talk about the very fact that it's not very good on the humans hopping in it. You hop in that cold car, that's not the way to go. All right, let me see here. Boing. Hey, puff up. Boing. All right, so, no, that's just kind of mostly what I want to talk about tonight, really. Let's see here. Let's kind of stay off the whole Epstein thing, because, man, I spent so much time on it today, I was just getting tired of it. All right, let me see here. Around less than half the price. Yeah, well, there's a reason when you use slave labor, Rad. People over there don't get paid crap. We actually pay people a living wage. China's CCP normally doesn't. So it's a difference. Also, when you steal tech and everything else, and your people, you know, I know you like China a lot more than we do, but hey, they don't follow fair use laws, let's just say. And also, their EVs, a lot of their EVs are smaller. I don't see a lot of the EVs that are going to handle our weather. And I've been reading about over there. They'll handle our weather or the loads of some of the ones here, but even those people they just don't want them. The grid can't handle everything they want. No, there's no way. The grid isn't even close. There is no grid in any country right now that would handle if everybody, how about this? Not even everybody. If 25% of the world today switched to EVs, all the grids in the world would crash. They can't handle it. Besides, the infrastructure is not there. When you have a vehicle that takes 20 minutes or more to charge up, that's only if you get the kilowatt stations, the good ones, when they work, which, by the way, these charging stations have problems in hot days and cold days. Once again, even the charging stations like to work best in a narrow zone, and they're fragile. They break easy. So there's a problem there. But imagine if you got everybody, let's say 25% of the public trying to charge up their car for 20 minutes to an hour or more. Talk about a nightmare. Until these get down to you pull in, fill up for 5 minutes, like a standard gasoline stop, just done, and drive off and have the same range as a gas car, it's just not worth it. So since these EVs cost more, they're crazy expensive. And when they break, they're very expensive. And when the batteries go bad, that shit is toxic. Let alone the mining. I'm saving the world, as they strip mine for all the ores and stuff. Trying to get super cold in the north. Yeah, but they're lower. Well, they're lower than us They're lower than us. We're actually, I think parts of our country get a lot colder than China. And our northern, hell, ask Joel. He's up in Minnesota, and I've been in North Dakota in the winter. Oh, that's cold. Discontinue power windows after midnight. What? Oh, God. Oh, good. So you get to charge when they get to tell you you can for a discount. Ooh. Let's see. Well, I don't think anybody should buy a $20K U.S. car that's made mostly by slave labor. That's just me. Why would we let that in when they're not following anywhere near the labor standards or anything we do? That makes no sense. That is like it makes sense that how we let them tariff us at 30%, but we're not supposed to tariff them at 30%. That makes zero sense. I've never understood how our government thinks that's fair. And that's any country. I don't care if it's Germany, UK. If they tariff us 10%, why aren't we tariffing them the same? Why have we let Canada and all these countries jack us on money? That is insanity. 20 mini nuclear reactors, yeah, they know they are. And Trump is trying to catch us up. He says we need energy. And nuclear has been a dirty word here because we have, well, Democrats. Our lefty Democrats are flipping morons. Oh, solar panels will save us. No, it will not. Wind will save us. No, it will not. The best energy out there is nuclear, and or America has a shitload of great places for hydroelectric. Hydroelectric generates. I mean, holy crap does hydroelectric, and man, America is just buried in hydroelectric areas. We also have more natural gas than anybody in the world. So, could use that. Nat gas cars burn real good. Battery replacement stations, EVs, taxis in China. Yeah, it doesn't matter. They still have shit ton of dirty shit in those batteries. It doesn't matter how much you replace them. It's just crazy that those batteries are toxic as F. The grid is very vulnerable to a whole host of problems. Oh, of course it is. When you are in a society based, I don't care what we did to our grid. There is nothing you can do to a grid that changing weather conditions, changing people who don't like it, weather attacks, greenie people, whatever out there is, if you are a society dependent on a grid, there's going to be some problem. Let alone, it doesn't matter what type of grid you have. Somebody does a little bit of a EMP, you're done anyway. I mean, shoo. So, yeah, our grid, but that said, Jay Watterson, our grid needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of upgrading. And it needs a lot of more nuclear. I'll give Illinois one thing. We have a decent amount of nuclear plants in Illinois. One near me is called Cordova Nuclear Plant. And it puts out a good amount of power for an older plant. It brings shitloads of power. It's not even going at capacity. It's going kind of mid-range. It's putting out like, I think it said 30% of the power for this area, and even sends power up to Chicago. That's crazy. That's the way to go. If the Chinese are doing that that's a better way than, because they're doing everything. They're building dams, doing hydroelectric, which we have some hydroelectric, but the greenies get mad. Oh, you're going to hurt a fishy. Nope. Too bad. Fuck off. Even though they're windmills that take out birds and the solar panels that roast birds out of the air and those solar fields displace animals, they don't seem to mind that. Make it make sense. Texas blizzards and power outages a few years back. Yes. Yes. Yep. We have those windmills in my area. And guess what? When it's really cold out, they don't work. They don't do much. They sit there. Also, the windmills, a lot of people don't tell you about the windmills. A lot of times, you never make enough electricity to pay for each of those windmills. They have a lifespan, and they die, and the maintenance is super expensive. And when they die, there's tons of lubricants, and there's a huge concrete pads there. A lot of these things they have their own huge waste products. It's unless you're in an area where the wind is almost 24/7, is not worth it. But yeah, we have some of them in our area, and it's I agree on tariffs, yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's where people get pissed down on Trump. And I've seen some of my friends in other countries got mad, said it's hurting them. Well, too bad. Maybe you should have been dealing with us fairly. But our government sold us out. And I'll say it clear as a bell. As Democrats, Republicans like, our government sold us out. They sold us totally out, roasted us because they were getting kickbacks and money. So they didn't give a shit. So a car coming in here from another country, we maybe tariff at 7%. That's it. But we send a car back to that same country, 30%. Germany's really dirty. They tariff us like 20% on cars, but then they have a bunch of fees. Remember, not a tax, it's a fee. A bunch of governmental fees, where it ends up being 30 or 35%. So, of course, nobody's going to buy that. China's even worse. China hits us hard. So, yeah, maybe one of their cars over there, let's say they make it over there, costs $10,000. We can make the exact same car, send it over there. By the time they tariff it up, it's 3 times the amount. So who's going to buy a $30,000 when they can buy a $10,000? It's the same thing. Which they probably stole the tech from us anyway. But no, the tariff thing is stupid. There never ever should be. You want to talk about fair trade? Fair trade means we are equal. That is what it means. And Canada is horrendous to us. I'm at the point where I think we should say, that's it, Canada, you're done. You're a territory of the United States of America. 95% of all your citizens live within 100 miles of our border. You are huddled up against us for economic warmth. So, yep. The grid is also very... Elected officials seem to be allergic to nuke power here. Yeah. Yeah, don't you? Yeah, I agree, Rad. Nuclear power is the greenest, smallest footprint, too, dude. You go, get online. Look up Cordova Nuclear Power Plant in Cordova, Illinois. Look at the footprint. That sucker puts out at least 30% of the power or so for the Quad Cities area and still sends a shitload of power to Chicago on big transfer lines. And then it's not even running full capacity. And this is an older plant. So it's crazy. The small footprint. Yet now, instead, we're supposed to have these monster big solar and wind farms everywhere that kill shitloads of animals, take up tons of space, need shitloads of maintenance, take tons of mining for stuff. A nuclear plant doesn't take near as much. It doesn't need near as much maintenance, puts out buku amounts of power. It's just stupid. It's crazy. Our space agencies use little tiny soda can size nuclear reactors to power shit now. But hey, why do they do it? Well, because it puts out power for a long time, a lot of it, and once you get all that range and time in, it's cheap. But hey, why not? Why? Let's not just give the people cheap power. So I'm with you, Rad. Trust me. I am with you. Green energy is not reliable is the problem. It is not reliable. There are tons of times in my area, we have a week at a time without sun or wind. Not going to work well. And then right back to your debit card doesn't work and your electric car doesn't work. There's a lot of problems with electrics. Electric everything is not workable a lot of times. Like I said, what do you do when the power goes out? What do you do? Let's see. Grid compromise various technology. Oh, I agree, Jay Watterson. Totally. Our grid needs to be updated. Some areas are doing it, just not fast enough. To do what they want to be scrapping it all over. Yeah, I agree. If you buy a card over 100. You mean a car? There's a luxury import tax. Yeah, that's craziness. 50%. Jesus Christ. That's insane. That's insane. Okay. Well, I'm sorry you have a wee-wee problem. Okay. Cool. A troll. Love it. You know, you actually have kind of made it when you have a troll. No, doesn't mean that. But no, that's just a couple things I want to talk about. I wanted to kind of, that's a little different stuff. We normally do politics heavily. This is still in the politics land. You guys see, we kept in there. But my channel, I'm going to wander a little more anyway, because I talk about a lot of stuff. My wife doesn't think, and I got a friend of mine, actually, he really doesn't think I should pigeonhole myself. Because I like to talk about a lot of stuff. He thinks I need to actually lean more into my pop culture side and stuff like that. So we'll see. I mean, it's part of my channel name, but we'll see. Wow, Tesla's under 100K, you get a non-white when you hit the tax. Yeah. Boy, that sounds kind of racist, doesn't it, Rad? The white one is cheaper and not worth as much. Hey. I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me. Guys, if you haven't, please hit thumbs up. Just do that. And that's if you're on Rumble. I haven't checked Rumble chat, so I apologize to Rumble. Hell, I'm not even sure if it's streaming on Rumble. It says it is. I didn't even check Rumble. Ooh. Rumble's been doing this thing lately where you got to verify like 100 times that you're human. Probably doesn't like my VPN. You'd think Rumble would. Kay was talking about another platform the other day, and I was like, I don't know. Yep, Rumble is going. Okay. But no, Kay was talking about this other platform. I looked at it. Yeah, you can say anything you want, but you're not talking to anybody. There's barely anybody on it. So, okay. If it has to ask if you're a real person. It's not working. Yeah. Well, I'd like to hear the whole story on the I-74 Bridge Explorer. Didn't get to do. The plan was I shared the location with somebody who I thought was an honorable friend because that was going to be an explorer of my life. I would have loved it. That bridge, before it got tore down, I scouted it and everything. And then he went behind my back and shared it with some other buddies of his in Chicago. And they said, we don't want to take him. And my buddies stabbed me in the back and took them instead of me. Once again, he wanted to share it with these people. Something I shared with him because of, once again, I thought he was an honorable person. We had shared locations in the past, but you know what? So they went with his buddies and they made a big kerfuffle. And got spotted enough. The police then guarded it like crazy. I tried, couldn't get near the son of a bitch. And when they were down here in the Quad Cities, made a kerfuffle in a bunch of places. So the Davenport and Moline police were all over the place for a couple months. They had guards up then. You could go nowhere near it. So I lost out on that and another, at least one more explorer because of that. So that's what that story is. But joke's on him because they were back in an area near me here lately, exploring Sandberg Mall. Now that's all gutted. I had permission from the owners just before it closed to go through it and even got in a theater while it was still in one piece. And I've been back there. There's nothing to see now, really. It's stripped. And by the way, in Galesburg, if he'd been my buddy, still he would have known there's a couple great places up there. There's a really cool one, too. But he don't know that. So that's what it was. That's what it was, I-74. And that was kind of near the end of my urban exploring times. I'd been doing it for over 30 years at that time. And I was starting to see some changes like that. Lack of loyalty. Too many people that call themselves urban explorers that go break in, paint and things, tagging, destroying stuff, stealing stuff. Or as one YouTube channel did it, they're showing off the stuff they took, called it liberating and saving it. That's not what you do when you're urban exploring. And if you're taking something, you're stealing. So that's why I kind of got out. So they're acting like trolls on I-74 bridge. Yes, they were. Dusty? Yes, they were. They made a big side of themselves and got spotted. And got their great footage climbing in it and doing all this shit. But that's great. Screwed. Yeah, pretty much what happened. Yep. And like I said, it pissed me off. And there were a couple other people I shared with. And my YouTube channel, that channel was monetized. And I do a lot of live streams. I helped out a lot of people explore places. I know it's going to sound sour grapes, but I helped a lot of people. And then people would come back, yeah, this guy and I were talking. I'm glad. Thank you for hooking us up. And then they would donate shitloads of money to their channels, but not even give me anything for hooking them up or giving them locations. It got to be a thing where I was like, why am I busting my ass for these people? And I did my live streams just to hook people up and talk about urban exploring. Tuesday night, exploring a CF chat, what it was. That channel was over 4,500 subscribers, then it dropped, and now it's starting to grow again. And I'm not even putting anything up on it. So yeah, that's what that was, Jay Watterson. Did you ever watch Adam the Woo? Yes, I did watch the Woo. I did. He quit for a while there, then came back. I haven't watched him for a while, but I remember watching him OG pretty much. And then he got burned out and went away, but then he came back. I haven't seen him probably for at least a year now. So yeah. Thing is about urban exploring, I have 36 locations in hard drives down here. That I haven't even edited or posted yet on that channel. I just got so pissed off and burned out on it. The people soured me so much I backed away. Adam passed away? What? No. Adam the Woo passed away? Holy shit. Well, he was... Wow, didn't he always kind of have some health problems? Holy crap, dude. I didn't know that. That's like, wow, I didn't even hear anything about it on YouTube. You would think, that's how much YouTube has changed. Because if, you go back 10, let's say 10 years ago, if Adam the Woo had passed away, that would have been everywhere. Holy crap, dude. But yeah, I've got tons of these hard drives. God dang, that is upsetting. I got a lot of places on these hard drives that I haven't posted yet. I do know that some people, I have not checked in on the urban exploring very much. Every once in a while I watch a little on that account of mine. And I'll watch and I'll see people. Over the last year and a half or 2 years, not to toot my horn, I've seen people starting to go to some of my old locations that haven't been demolished in order. It's like, ooh. I have to say, I'm happy. I got to see a lot of locations before they got destroyed. But yeah, the bridge was a big one for me. That pissed me off. So you can copy and paste to unredact Epstein files. Yes. Yes, I did, Jimmy. We talked about the Epstein thing, but there's so much going on, and there's nothing redacted. They're not really redacted. It's a whole. I watched the one video, the couple videos from Brain Problem, Asmongold, and he even talked about that. He was making fun of the one guy. It's like, yeah, we know Trump's in the Epstein files. And there's tons of people in the Epstein files that did nothing wrong, had no clue what was going on. It's just a buzzword. Oh, he's in the Epstein files. Oh, shut up. Shut up and stop dragging me back into it. No, I hadn't, Jay Watterson. Damn. Adam the Woo. Good God. Hang on. What the jeez? I followed him on at least 2 of my accounts. He comes up right away. Yeah. Oh, my Lord. Holy crap. 51? What? What? That is freaky. Dead inside his home. Oh my Lord. Dude, he used to the travel, the theme parks, all that stuff. Oh my Lord. Didn't he do like movie scene areas and stuff for a while too? That is freaky. Well, thanks for letting me know. It does suck. Like I said, 10 years ago, Adam the Woo would have passed. Everybody would have known. It would have been huge news. No, I hadn't. Thanks for letting me know. I like abandoned things like houses and cars, mostly abandoned boats. Ooh. That's good stuff. 51 is young to die. I'll tell you what, the older I get, the more it seems like, damn, that's too young. When you're like 18 or 20, you're like, damn, that old dude died. Then you see people, you're going, hey, that's not too far in my future. Oh, Dusty, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right. Dusty? I want to call you Dusty. If you ever like, check out my other channel. It's Exploring with CF. Let me know what you think. There's a lot of urban explorers on there. I'm still thinking about I got people asking me to edit these out and put them up, and I got people wanting my chat back, even if I'm not urban exploring anymore. They still like to talk about bandos and stuff, and malls, dead malls. Oh, abandoned malls, dead malls. Some of my favorite explorers, personally, abandoned bowling alleys. Oh. Abandoned bowling alleys. You just turned 50. Oh, shit. You just turned 50. Adam the Woo was 51 and died. Crap. Dude, that is messed up stuff. Damn, man. Adam the Woo, YouTuber, dies at 51. Son of a bitch, man. Yeah, if you just turned 50, you're going, hey, whoa. Nix that. Dude, that is not good. The Daily Woo. I remember that. The Daily Woo. His second channel. Yep. Wonder was the last time he did anything on there. Let's see. Dang it. Jay Watterson sent me down a rabbit hole. When's the last time did he do posting? 7 years ago. 2 months ago. 2 months. And that was a month. There's a month right there. Boy, he colored a little more. Holy crap. 2 days ago. Holy crap. No way. Wait. So he posted 6 days. He was posting like crazy. 7 days, 6 days, 5 days, 4 days, 3 days ago, 2 days ago. I know I'm in the way, guys, but holy crap. Jay Watterson sent me down this rabbit because, dude, I don't know if I can say I grew up on him, but dude, that is messed up. Man, he was posting though. Look at this. And this is 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. So he's posting stuff. I mean, he's not getting the views he used to, but this is his second channel too. But man, I'd kill for a video with 49,000 views. I think my biggest viewed video on Exploring with CF has 100,000. And that didn't happen all at once. It sure didn't happen in a week. But my biggest channel video, I think, has 100,000. Actually, I have no idea. I have no idea. But dude, he was still doing vids. That is upsetting. That is goddarn upsetting. So hey man, everybody, I don't know if you've ever checked out Adam the Woo, but go check out the Daily Woo and check out his original channel, Adam the Woo. Go check him out, dude. Man. Dude, that is slightly upsetting still. Nothing like somebody where you were kind of, your early days on YouTube who was really big then, and now you're like, one. All right. But dang, man. That's rough. But yeah, feel free to check my channel out. I mean, it's still there. But dude, that is upsetting. I wonder what happens if you Google that. Sorry, now you got me curious. I know something with Josh will come up. What happens if you do that? Hey, look at that! Holy crap. Yeah, that's when I was at the brewery with J&M Explorations. Oh my God. Yeah. This old hotel here, I got a lot of permission from a lot of owners too. A lot of urban explorers don't do that. I did a lot of permission. Dude, that is cool as crap. You can Google me. Sorry, I don't know why I thought that was cool. Sorry, you guys couldn't even see it really, but hang on. Hang on. I'll shrink me back down. Let's go here. Sorry about that. I just wanted to try it. I didn't think. All I did was Google it. I get a couple mentions. Look at that. Exploring with them. I remember that. And exploring my channel. Holy crap. Abandoned churches playlist. Oh my. That's just crazy. If I type in video, if I show videos, what's going to happen? Just that one and there. Oh, exploring with CF YouTube. Exploring. Oh wow, my channel. Sorry, it's still kind of cool that. Wow, I haven't done that with that channel in a while, and it's still up there. I know I do. I actually check in on it once in a while. And that's why you see the face mask over here. This face mask symbol you see on the right. That was my symbol of my channel long before COVID. That was an N95 mask that my doctors recommended I wear if I was going to go into abandoned places with my crap lungs. So that's what that symbol is. I had it long before COVID. So, all right, let me catch up with you guys here. Sorry. Oh, it's young to die. So where my grandmother used to live had a brick and mortar jail cell. Oh, what the hell? It puts the lotion on her. It gets the hose, Jimmy. The times are changing. People are dying young again. The younger generations are. The older generations, over a certain age, I think 30s and up or something like that, or 40s and up, aren't doing it. It's the younger generation. They're already showing very bad health problems at young age. They're saying they're going to live less time. I said, my first kid, he's 3 months, got to leave something behind on this earth. Hey, more power to you, man. More power to you. Hell yeah. Hells yes. Congratulations. Nothing wrong with that. Honestly. Yep. Don't let anybody, I'm glad you didn't let anybody tell you age is a problem. Nope. If you really want one, I don't care if it's adopt. I don't care what it is. Yeah, if you want a kid, don't let me put you off it. That is flipping great, dude. Adam was popular. Yeah, he was. Dang, Jay Watterson. He did filming locations. Yes, he stopped the urban exploring when he got arrested exploring the glass bank in Cocoa Beach. Oh, charging him with a felony. There is one of the videos on my channel where we got caught by the police because some looky-loo from a building across the way was looking with binoculars from her high-rise apartment, weird, and called the police, and we had guns pointed at us. But the cops were really cool. Once they saw what we were doing and cameras and stuff, they knew what urban exploring was. And one of the cops actually became a subscriber and let me know of a few locations. It was funny because they actually let us finish up filming, and you can see in the background the police are right there. The police are right there while we finished saying, hey, thank you for learning, exploring a CF and shit like that. The cops are there. And even tried to say, hey, there's a house up here. I'm like, nope, we've gotten in your way enough today. But yeah, I was in Silvis, Illinois. Oof. We didn't ever got a felony. I was pretty good actually at finding places where I knew. I did some research. I found there was a dispute on who owns the property going on, so nobody could really say it was theirs, or it'd been taken over by a city, or I got owner's permission. I was really good at finding an owner and getting permission, so that was always good. I even had sheets that I would sign liability way, so I could hand to owners going, see, I've signed my liability way with witnesses here that I would never, if I ever got hurt, nothing would happen to you. So yeah. He got deep into filming Disney. Yes, he did do a lot of Disney stuff for a while there. In fact, I think he did a lot of the Disney filming before a lot of the other people did. Now Disney people are everywhere. I used to watch a guy fishing storm drains. Wow. That's cool. There's some of the magnet fishers, some of the diving ones guys go hunt for stuff. They sort of have Epstein files. Shut up, man. No, don't do that. I wonder what happens if I click that. Sorry, I'm just curious. I'm clicking one of the links. Oh, wow, my channel does come up. Self-promotion. Wow, I haven't done anything with this channel in a while. Jeez, man. I'll shrink me down. I don't care. Pull me up here. Where's it at? That's my channel. See that face mask there? I had that long before COVID. 3.93K. It's actually gone up. I haven't done anything in years. It was up to 4,600,000 or 4,600. And then it went down after I stopped. And now it's been climbing. Because I was like, I can't remember how many I've gained, but I've been gaining. I get a notification. I've been gaining subscribers. Last thing I did on this channel was 11 months ago. That's just because I was just trying to keep it active. There it is. That's my best one. The abandoned military base we did. 101,000 subscribers. I had some decent ones. Not epic, but decent. But then I had some. I wasn't very good at naming them. Some people were better at naming and titling. But yeah, I did pretty good. I enjoyed that. Bringing me down the rabbit holes, man. All right. Puff me back up here. All right. Let's see here. Back to here. Oh, my Lord. Abracadabra? Abracadabra? My uncle's a big fan. Can you please send him a shout out? Dixon Myers. Dixon Myers, huh? No. How you doing, Abracadabra? All right, so let's see here. Probably hop out here in a little bit. We've been on a good while. A few people on Rumble over there. I see you guys over on Rumble. But yeah, we've been on an hour and 36 minutes. Seems longer. That don't seem right. That don't sound right, but no, it seems longer. That's weird. All right, so I think we're going to get out of here. Oh, let's see what Jimmy. Jimmy, did you figure out how to do the picture-in-picture during the stream again? No, I think I know how to do it. I got to find one of Jay Watterson's. Actually, I don't want to play that. It might have music. But no, I know how to do it. When I hit the link, I hit the 3 dots there. I think it opens in a separate window. I'm not going to try it right now. But there's a link here. I click it, and it'll open in a separate window. I must have bumped it before. But I can always look it up. I just haven't given it much thought. But it was cool to run into. It was kind of cool. All right, let's see. But no, I'm sure I can figure it out again, or I'll screw up again. Somebody will send a link that I know I can actually open, and I'll do it, and it'll screw it up. Damn, man. Adam the Woo. That sucks. Oh, man. That's not good. When YouTubers start passing away, that's rough. That last link was music. Yep, I got it. It's open on my other screen. I was going to see it over here. I was looking at it. I'm like, nope, they didn't open that over here. I got enough problems. They copyright strike little channels like mine all the time. Exploring the CF used to get a lot less. But there's actually videos missing on that channel too. As they took them down saying, this violated our policies. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's been up there for 4 years. How does it violate the policies? It was my channel. I did it. It was my proprietary stuff. All right, guys, let's see here. Is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else anyone wants to talk about. All I'm going to say is, let me know if you guys wanted to do a stream tomorrow afternoon or evening. I got a friend of mine with a Ford Focus broke the axle on his car, and tomorrow's Christmas Eve. So I'm going to be, because he needs the car to go to Christmas. So I'm going to be putting an axle in a Ford Focus tomorrow that is stuck in my driveway, and it's supposed to possibly rain. That's going to be my Christmas gift to him. Put an axle in a fungus. I don't know. Working out in the rain now. I don't know. We'll see if it's a gift. But yep. Maybe if I get time, maybe we'll do a little bit of a stream, talk about it, see what's going on. I don't know if we want to do politics on a Christmas Eve, but we'll see if I get time tomorrow. As long as I get time, I'll do that then. I got to go to the gyms. They close early. Then I got to try to get the axle done. Listening on a headset, running around looking where we hid all the Christmas presents for the kids. Oh, you did. My parents did that one year. They hid a bunch of our gifts. And then they actually forgot about them, Rad. And then suddenly, I think it was like May or June. I don't know what we were doing. All of a sudden, I heard my mom go, oh crap, Terry. Hey, here's what we did with it. Look what we did. And she comes out like 3 gifts or something that they had put somewhere and totally forgot. And you ready for the worst part? They didn't give them to us. They made us wait till next Christmas to open them. I crap you not. It's like, oh, that's rip us off. Ain't today Christmas Eve? Yes, it is. That's what I mean. I will be working on this car on Christmas Eve-ish, or afternoon, Eve afternoon. How's that? Yeah. Damn. I hope you found them all. All right, Jay Watterson. Yeah, if I don't see you guys, just in case, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody, no matter where you're at. You know, and yeah, not happy holidays. Merry Christmas. That's what it is, especially here in America. Merry Christmas. Thank you all for stopping by. If you haven't, please give me a thumbs up. You don't have to subscribe if you're new here, but check back once in a while. If I can make you laugh, cry, mad, sad, or just disgusted that you're actually spending time here, then please subscribe. You can also contact me. Links are in my description for the video. I haven't used Instagram much, but my email, and you can comment here. There's one we forgot where we found. Oh, crap. Well, I'm glad you found it. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Oh, Dancelana? Sorry, I'm out of here. Sorry. I hate when that happens. I hate that. I'm sorry. But I am out of here. I got stuff to do. Jax is stalking me. I heard him back here. Where's Jax? Jax? Oh, here he comes. I said his name. Hang on, Jay Watterson. Come here, Jaxie. Come here, bud. Come on. Come on. Come here. I'm here. Oh. Jack's cat. There we go. How's that? Jack's cat. Yeah, I love you too, big boy. You call him, he comes. You tell him to sit, he sits. You're weird. He wags his tail enough to knock stuff over all the time. You done? No, I love you too. Yeah. And I got a 100-pound dog on the other side of the couch. I'm sorry, Dancelon. I've been on for a couple hours. No, you're not coming back up. I'll follow you. I know, he wants food. He wants food. All right, guys. Have a good one. Thank you very much. Sorry, Dancelana. Check back. Pay attention to notifications. And Jax and I will be back maybe yet today or this evening. All right? Have a good one, guys. If in case I don't see you, in case my wife has plans I don't know about for us, Merry Christmas.